I wanted to ask about the comments from Donald Trump about Greenland. Obviously, it's a very aggressive stance that the US has taken. There does seem to be a threat to Greenland's sovereignty. What is the EU doing and what can it do to deter that sort of aggressive position from someone who is meant to be a European ally?
Thank you, Zoya. Indeed, we heard those statements from President Trump. We had heard it before, and we stick to what we had already said in this room about that, and which Anita will remind us. Anita, welcome.
Thank you, and Happy New Year to everybody. We have made our position very clear, and I will reiterate it once more. The EU will continue to uphold the principles of national sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the inviolability of borders and the UN Charter. These are universal principles and will not stop defending them. All the more so if the territorial integrity of a member state of the European Union is questioned. And I will also want to direct you also to the tweet of the High Representative from the 22nd of December, where she also reiterated once more that we continue to stand in solidarity with Denmark and Greenland is an autonomous territory in the Kingdom of Denmark, and any changes to the statute are for Greenlanders and Danes alone to decide.
Thank you, Anita. Yes, and in the back.
Hi, Terry Schultz with Deutsche Welle. But with a tweet that a post that was in December, don't you think it takes on more urgency now, and perhaps new language or a new approach is needed now that the U.S. has actually staged an intervention in a country? We've seen this happen now, which may have just been hypothetical before. Is there nothing more you'd like to say that would perhaps be a deterrent, or, I don't know, but not just say, but perhaps to do? Thank you.
Would recall that Greenland is an ally to the US and is also covered by the NATO alliance. And that is a big difference. So we therefore completely stand by Greenland, and in no ways do we see a possible comparison with what happened.
Are there any specific steps you can take to deter a US action on Greenland? Because what you said now is no step. And you say you stand in solidarity with Denmark. What does that mean specifically?
Thank you. As Paula has just said, and we have had this question before, we'll not comment blow by blow.
Hello and Happy New Year. I want to ask about Venezuela, which is connected to this issue of Greenland. I saw the statements by the President of the Commission, also by the High Representative. They were speaking about the need to respect international law, political prisoners, democratic transition in the country, etc. But there was no explicit condemnation of the military intervention launched by the United States to remove Nicolás Maduro from power. What is the reason why you have not condemned this intervention as a breach of international law, including the principle of sovereignty? Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to also recall that we have also a statement of the High Representative, which was supported by 26 EU member states in this regard, where the EU is calling for calm and restraint by all the actors, and also to avoid escalation and to ensure also a peaceful solution to the crisis. We have inserted also the reference to the need to respect and uphold international law and also the UN Charter. Members of the UN Security Council have also in this regard a special particular responsibility to uphold these principles as a pillar of the international security. Further, the EU has also recalled that Nicolás Maduro lacks the legitimacy of a democratically elected president and has long advocated for a Venezuelan-led peaceful transition to democracy in the country.
The first one, the fact that Maduro was not considered the legitimate president of Venezuela, is that reason enough to justify or at least tolerate this military intervention? And second, how do you feel about the fact that the United States intends to run, well, that's what they say, they intend to run Venezuela or at least coerce the country into submissive behavior? Is this something that you support in order to remove a regime that was hostile to the European Union? Thank you.
We say on that. First of all, indeed, it's worth recalling that Nicolás Maduro lacked the legitimacy of a democratically elected leader, and therefore the events over the weekend provide the opportunity for a democratic transition led by the Venezuelan people. Now, we also recalled in this very same context the need to abide by international law and the UN Charter. That's recalled in the statement. It is also recalled in the post from the President. And on your question on running the country, it's obviously for the Venezuelan people to run the country, as it is for any people across the world, wherever and whatever country we're talking about.
How would you term the US actions in Venezuela? Is it an invasion, an intervention, an act of aggression, an external coup? We're brilliant in Brussels at coming up with the words. What is the terminology that the Commission is going to use on this? Thanks.
Thank you, Jack. Listen, we haven't really discussed how we are calling it. I don't think that's the most relevant in the matter. As said, these events create the opportunity for a democratic transition in Venezuela and create the opportunity for a transition led by the Venezuelan people. Jack, a follow-up.
So if we're not going to call a spade, we're calling this an opportunity for a democratic transition. That's what the EU believes has happened here.
Words, I just said what this creates as a context, and that we expect and hope this will be the possibility seized by the Venezuelan people. Yes, next to Jack.
All right, we're double teaming you here. So is the statement calls for all actors, and there are a limited number of actors you could be referring to here, even though you don't use you don't mention the U.S. by name in this respect. You ask for everyone to uphold international law and for the importance of this. So is it your assessment that until now international law has been followed by the United States in its actions there? Thank you.
I think the statement is very clear in saying that the international law must be respected, and this is what we are recalling and expecting all the actors involved to do.
But it's already happened, so you can speak about events that have already happened. Mm-hmm. It's already happened, so you can say that for future events, but is it your assessment that what has happened up until today has been in accordance with international law?
On the implications, as Paula has just mentioned, and as the events just unfolded, it is too early to look into and assess all the implications in terms of legal assessment.
Who's going to be the reference for the EU in Venezuela? Like, who's the legitimate government, since Trump is running the country, that's what he said? Is there like I don't know, government at the moment, whatever it is? So who do you consider the reference for anything going to happen in Venezuela?
I would like to mention the opposition, and in particular Edmundo González and also Maria Corina Machado, who have fought tirelessly for democracy and human rights in Venezuela, and they have also led in 2024 the Venezuelan people to peacefully exercise their right to vote. We have millions of Venezuelans that have voted for change, and they have supported Edmundo González by a significant majority, according to what we had available. So the next steps are about dialogue towards democratic transition, which must include Edmundo González and Maria Corina Machado.
Do you have any indication the US is interested in a democratic transition?
That's a question to ask to President Trump, indeed.
I appreciate what you're able to say and not able to say about Greenland specifically, and also that you stand behind Denmark. But could I just ask you one specific phrase that President Trump used when he was talking to reporters on Air Force One? He said, of Greenland, the EU needs us to have it, and they know that. So are you able to say, just for the record, that President Trump is mistaken or he's misinterpreted what the Commission's position is on that?
We heard those statements. I'm not informed about any discussion with the US by our representatives on this issue. Yes.
I mean, are you able to say that that's incorrect, where he says the EU needs us to have it and they know that? That's simply not the case, is it?
Again, there is Greenland has its autonomy, and of course, each country may be very interesting from many points of view, but that shouldn't trigger any interest beyond possible, for instance, business interests, investments, etc. Nothing going beyond that.
Can you just answer the question? Does the EU need the US to have Greenland?
Sorry, say that again?
Does the EU need the US to have Greenland?
And Jorge, and then we'll give online the possibility. Actually, I see that several. Go ahead, even though you had a question already on this topic.
Now, yes, it's about Delcy Rodriguez, the new president, effectively, of Venezuela after the removal of Nicolas Maduro. In a new statement, she offered to work more closely with the United States for a joint agenda of development and cooperation, she said. Trump has indicated that she also wants to work with Delcy Rodriguez, or at least tell her what to do with the country. Do you also intend to work with Rodriguez, or for you she's not legitimate either? Thank you.
Thank you. We have made our point clear about whose legitimacy we are respecting, and that is of those that have been democratically elected.
I would like to ask you on the same topic, if the Commission considered the US an aggressor in this case, and if the Commission condemn at least the killing of civilians, which was denounced by the Venezuelan government and has not been denied. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vincenzo. That comes back to the question on how we describe it, how we name it, how we call it. And so nothing to add to what we've said before.
Je voudrais savoir si Mme Callas a eu des entretiens avec Rubio. Et sinon, est-ce que ça pose pas vraiment un problème pour la diplomatie européenne qu'effectivement la première puissance et un pays allié ne parlent pas aux représentants des États membres pour les affaires étrangères? Et une dernière petite question, est-ce que vous n'êtes pas choqué par le mépris de Donald Trump qui, dans l'avion, a dit qu'effectivement, il ne voyait pas pourquoi il prendrait pas le Groenland, vu que la seule solution qu'ont apporté les Groenlandais et les Danois pour protéger le territoire, c'était d'ajouter un chien de traîneau, avec un grand éclat de rire de tout son entourage, ce qui montre le peu de respect qu'il éprouve pour les Européens, et qui, effectivement, je comprends que vous soyez très, très timoré, mais enfin, je pense que le moment est aussi venu de montrer un peu les muscles. Et donc, je me demande si vous allez montrer les muscles en 2026, si on va continuer à faire carpette. Merci.
On the contacts, indeed, the High Representative has had a call just 2 days with Marco Rubio. Precisely, this was the aim of the call, to discuss the situation. She has contacted, obviously, our ambassador in Caracas. So the discussions with the U.S. counterparts are ongoing. And on Greenland, again, we are in close contact with Denmark, and we will continue to support them throughout.
Yes, Christian. And otherwise, I recall here also the words of Prime Minister Nielsen of Greenland, who recalled that Greenland will not be a piece of property that can be bought by just anyone. And we fully agree and stand by that. And he's also called for respect. And again, we stand by that.